I'm Legend, I play this game professionally, so I can probably hit rank 1. So to start the day off, we are against a mirror match. And in the mirror match, Cosmic Keyboard is amazing. Being able to put consistent pressure on the board is great. And because Molten Rune curves out so well after Cosmic Keyboard, I actually decided to keep it, even though the stats don't always support that. And in this matchup, again, I want to play the Flame Geyser turn 1, because I think that it's better to get those spell schools out of the way immediately. But then I remember, wait a minute, I've got Molten Rune, it's already a fire spell, I can actually save Flame Geyser this time. They play Prismatic Elemental turn 2, and they're playing a 40 card version of this deck, which I already know is going to be less consistent. I feel like already this, statistically, things are in my favor. So we play the Cosmic Keyboard turn 2, and we pass our turn. But yeah, the reason why I don't like 40 card version decks of combo decks, which is what I assume they're going, at least at this point in the game, is why? Yes, you have 5 more HP to survive, but I would much rather get my combo earlier than maybe survive 1 extra turn against an aggro deck. Because it almost never matters anyway. Then we're gonna go Molten Rune. No. Are we gonna coin out Cold Case? Because they're gonna summon minions after this thing dies anyway? Yeah, I actually do coin out Cold Case first. I actually was not 100% sure what I did there. I thought that I coined out Cold Case actually, because the 1/3 had a Death Rattle to summon some 3/2s, and the Volatile Skeletons do 2 damage, which would have traded into the 3/2s, which I think would have been pretty good. They play Discovery of Magic, and it always hurts me when you have to play a 1-mana spell when you have the Cosmic Keyboard out there, because you know you're just wasting one of the charges. And at this point I'm like, okay, based on the confidence that they're showing right now, I'm pretty sure that is a bait and switch. I don't exactly know why I have this feeling, because Jaina's not really doing anything, she's just kind of sitting there, but I have this feeling that it is a bait and switch. So I'm thinking, do I hit the 4/4 into the 1/1, or do I hit it into the 1/3 and just see if it dies? Doesn't end up being bait and switch, so that's cool, I guess. But I realize I should probably hit face and see if it's Explosive Trap before playing a whole new minion. It does end up being Explosive Trap, and it kills off the 2 worst minions, the 1/2 and the 2/2, which is a little bit disappointing. And it makes me think, do I even want to play the Inquisitive Creation at this point? Is it even worth it? Because at first I wanted to wipe the board, but now I don't think it's very good. So we end up playing Volume Up to discover more cards, because it gives me a 4/4 anyway. Duplicate Solid Alibi to protect me against a potential combo later on, and we pass our turn. They ping my minion, which is fantastic because it means they're not going to get a lot of value out of the Cosmic Keyboard, and then they play another 1-mana spell, and at this point I'm just like, what the heck is even happening? This is so troll. You've done no damage. So I get Cold Case. Cold Case is phenomenal. 2 2/2s with good death rattles, 4 armor, and a 4/4 due to Cosmic Keyboard. I end up playing the Flame Geyser because even though it's good cheap damage, I'd rather kill the 3/2 right now and not take a lot of damage myself, because I'm pretty sure that I will draw Sif and my combo before they will. It's just, they have a 40 card deck. It's a lot less promising for them. They end up wiping my board, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's fine. The board wasn't insanely big or anything. And to start the turn, I play Discovery of Magic. I think maybe I could have played Prismatic Elemental first because it's got mana cheat, but it's fine. I think about Down with the Ship or Turn the Tides. I realize Turn the Tides is a nature spell, so it's pretty good. I'd rather do that. So I play it along with Prismatic Elemental. Probably again should have played Prismatic Elemental first, but it's not a big deal. We take the Shadow Suffusion here. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, because if I'm able to summon a bunch of minions, because I have 2 1-drops in my hand right now as it is. If I can summon a couple more minions and give them all this Death Rattle, that's pretty good. It's extra direct damage, which might mean I don't need Sif as long as I get Elemental Inspiration. We'll see. They play Elemental Inspiration, and this is actually what we've been holding the creation for this whole time. I've thought about playing it in a couple of different instances, but the main reason why I didn't, even though it would have been decent removal, is because I know that they might have Elemental Inspiration in their hand and I would need to remove that. Then, because I have 3 minions on the board, I'm like, yeah, sure, maybe I played the Shadow Suffusion. It's not bad. It gives me upwards of 9 damage with their Death Rattle, so if they do end up wiping this board, I'll still get some damage in. And I can always just play the Elemental Inspiration next turn. They play Cosmic Keyboard, then they silence all of my minions, which honestly isn't that big of a deal. And then I'm met with a choice. How do I want to trade in here? Do I want to make space for the Elemental Inspiration by trading in my 3/2? The answer is yes, by the way. I take a second to actually do it, but the answer is definitely yes to make room. Hoping for Divine Shield or Reborns. I get 1 Reborn, which is fine. If they do wipe my board, I at least have a minion left over. And they also haven't played enough spell schools to actually wipe my board yet. I think they've only played like 2 or 3 at this point, so my board was fine. Now we're up against a Hunter, which is a pretty bad matchup for Mage, actually. Yes, you can win it. It's definitely winnable, but they just have so much early pressure and damage that sometimes you get overwhelmed. And because I think, okay, I might need to wipe a board here, I keep the the Inquisitive Creation as well as Flame Geyser, because I'm thinking I might need to kill a wide board of minions. If they summon a bunch of 4/1s, I absolutely need a way of killing a bunch of 4/1s, or I'm going to die. They play the Costume Singer turn 1, which I'm actually pretty okay with because I can just immediately kill it with Flame Geyser. And again, I don't think it's a waste. In fact, because I already have my game plan of trying to wipe the board, I think the creation, sorry, is really good here. Going into turn 2, I could play Infinitize the Maxitude or Prismatic Elemental. I've played a lot of Infinitize the Maxitude before. I actually take Elemental Inspiration here? I actually didn't expect that, but anyway, I was leaning towards Prismatic Elemental for board presence, but at the end of the day, they don't have that much pressure on the board right now because I killed their first minion, so I think it's maybe okay to be a little bit greedy here, especially because I already have a good board wipe if things get to that point. So now I play Elemental Inspiration. I play it to try to play around bees, because if it's bees, I'd rather 3 of them die than bait it out with the Flame Elemental. Think I'd take Fiendish Circle here because I want to summon as many minions as possible. Even if it ends up being like an explosive trap, I can always just trade the 1/1s in, and then I play Flame Elemental. Arguably, I could have coined out Fiendish Circle here to get more stats out on the board, and I didn't. I do think it's a slight misplay, but it's not too big of a deal. Because also, if I had coined it out, it would have made the creation stronger as well next turn, which would have helped me trade into minions. And I think that that's actually a pretty big misplay. In my head, I wanted to save the coin for the Elemental Inspiration, but considering I'm taking so much damage right now, I do think it was a misplay. We could end up coining out the Star Power, which is a good card. It doesn't end up trading in well. In fact, I think I say this, it literally goes in the exact opposite order of what I want. It literally hits the 1 with the 5, and then hits the 5 with the 1 by the end of the string, which is, it's just RNG. It's not a big deal, but it does put me in a position where I might need more removal, because it didn't fully wipe the board like I was hoping it would. Turn 5, I'm thinking, okay, I've got to do something here because I can't play Elemental Inspiration. I can't do it. If I try to play Elemental Inspiration on turn 6, I'm going to lose. So I've got to just wipe their board with the Creation right now and play the Arcane Worm to just get a spell in my hand. It was not what I wanted to do with the Creation. Okay, I wanted to wipe a potentially bigger board, especially the Hollow Hound. But sometimes you have to adjust your strategy and wipe less optimal boards because you're about to die. And by you, I mean me in this situation. They forge the card and they're going to play 2 secrets, which is annoying, but fine. Like, okay, it's probably motion denied to get some extra damage, and then probably hidden meaning to get some extra damage. If it's not one of those, Cat Trick and Bait and Switch are usually okay options, as well as Explosive Trap to do damage. So, like, I know probably what it is. So I realize I have an opportunity here. if it does happen to be motion denied, what I could do is I can play a couple of spells here and then play Solid Alibi. I think about playing Cosmic Keyboard and I think about playing Molten Rune, but in the end I play Solid Alibi to play around motion denied, which it ends up being. I dodge 5 damage here and it is really important. Also, I didn't hit face with the 3/4 because I didn't want to take explosive trap damage. So I just leave these minions on the board to help me trade later. Because yeah, I could have baited it out before attacking or before playing my 1/1s, but if I took 2 more damage, even just 1 more damage, it could have been problematic. So now, again, their board is a problem. I want to save Reverberations for maybe a Hollow Hound to get some extra healing out of that, but I'm also thinking I might need to use it on the 7/7 or else I'm going to die. I decided to play the Cosmic Keyboard and then play Reverberations to get myself a little bit of pressure on the board, but I don't know exactly what to reverberate. I think the 7/7 has to be the play though. I thought maybe the taunt, so I could kill the taunt in 1 hit, but I don't think that that would have been correct. I randomly generate the Sunwell, which could be useful, and since I'm in such a bad position right now, I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe the Sunwell will save me by some friggin' miracle. I don't know. They have a weapon, and I'm just thinking, if they have the 1-card, Faithful Companions I think it's called, to just summon King Crush from their deck, I lose the game. The game is over, it makes me sad, but that's just the way that it is. But they play Selective Breeder instead. And I'm thinking, okay, fine. They'll randomly generate King Crush and win the game next turn, and it's gonna suck, but that's just, I'll play out the next turn. Maybe I'll play the Elemental Inspiration, and I'll get some taunt minions. I don't know, but maybe. So right now I'm at 6 HP and I am friggin' panicking. I decide that I should probably trade the 7/7 into the 1/4 and then kill the 4/3 with my 3/2. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Right now I'm just thinking, how do I want to play this turn out? Is Elemental Inspiration my main answer? Because I could, in theory, play Volume Up and try to find like a Solid Alibi. But Elemental Inspiration is going to summon, I think it was 4 or 5 minions. Odds are, hopefully, one of them's taunt. And as long as one of them's taunt, I'm actually still in the game. So we kill off the 1/4 with my 7/7, and then we kill off the other thing with my 3/2. And it's a little bit weird here, the way that I'm trading, but I'm actually trading, I should have actually only traded one in there. I am an idiot. If I had traded one in there, it would have been fine. Actually, you know what? Maybe it wasn't a misplay. Maybe I end up playing the Arcane Worm here. No, it wasn't a misplay because I got a 6/6 off of the Thingamabob. That was the play. I knew I had a reason for trading the other 1/1 in. I'm not just bad. Anyway, I end up getting a taunt minion and a lifesteal minion. No, not a lifesteal minion. Oh, I thought I did. Oh boy. But I got a taunt minion, so maybe that's enough to save me. Oh boy. I really thought I got a lifesteal minion this game. I probably mixed this one up with another one from this day. But I did get the taunt minion. I remember that much. So they play a couple of taunt minions. That was their last monkey. It's fine. Never mind, they got a whole bunch of other monkeys. That's just fantastic. I've got to get through a whole bunch of taunt minions here. I had 33 damage on board, and I had some removal. So in theory, if they had not been able to get that second barrel of monkeys, I would have won the game this turn. I draw Solid Alibi though, and Solid Alibi is fan-freaking-tastic, because that means even if they summon 2 King Crushes off of Faithful Companions, which could happen, I guess, they cannot kill me. They cannot kill me as long as I have a taunt minion. So to start the turn off, I play Solid Alibi so I don't forget, because that happens sometimes. And it also opens up a little bit of space for potentially the Sunwell to give me an extra minion, or an extra card. I say oops because I probably shouldn't have played Sunwell first, but it's fine. And I end up playing the Sunwell so that way I get an extra card, hoping for armor or healing. I get none, but that's okay. Wandering Monster guarantees that I survive, because if they want to hit me with their weapon, they no longer can. I make one of their taunt minions go dormant, and I trade in. I make sure to trade in without my taunt minion, just to make sure it doesn't die. I actually trade into 2 taunt minions with my 1 Wind Fury minion, and then my Reborn minion, because if you know, I'd rather keep my stealth minions healthy for some reason. I don't know, I probably should have traded in with both of the stealth minions, but I'd rather have 2 minions at full HP than 1 minion at full HP, even if it has Wind Fury. Also, doing it like this does play around the Hollow Hound a little bit, because if I had attacked with the 4/5 that's next to the taunt, it technically would have died to like a cleave. But they don't have Hollow Hound or anything, and we barely managed to come back that game. That was actually super intense. I was freaking out that whole game. In the end, I ended up climbing to 599 Legend. If you want to see all of the gameplays and full gameplay commentaries, you can go check out the live VODs on my channel. Otherwise, these are just the best 2 games.